Hi, welcome to Eden Yoga. My name is Desi, some know me as Kim. I just opened this studio in March 2016, and it's the only yoga studio in the Concord area with rope walls. So today I'm excited to show you some of the fun things we can do with these ropes. The first thing I'd like to show you is a simple shoulder opener where we hold on to the upper set of ropes and lean in using traction and gravity to open the shoulders in a way that's difficult to without these ropes. Then we can step back, fold forward, and stretch across the tops of the shoulders. And then move back and forth to begin to open up the backs of the legs, the hips, and the shoulders. This is a modified version of a common Iyengar sequence called Rope 1, which I'll show you now. The next thing I'd love to show you is a version of downward facing dog with the ropes. It's so nice to have gravity drawing down on the spine, opening up the space between the vertebrae, especially when you bring it into a twist like this. The next pose involves taking a separate rope and creating a swing. We loop that through and tie the two knots together. Give it a tug, it's not going anywhere. Then we'll take a blanket and place it over the swing for some cushion. Now, we're about to do a variation of a pose called Uttanasana, which is a simple standing forward bend. And this pose feels wonderful when the muscles are flexible enough to be able to really be folded over. But in the beginning, the legs, hips, and back muscles are too tight, and it usually ends up looking something like this, which you're not enjoying the full benefits of gravity drawing down on the torso, unless you use the ropes. Here the body is in a simple L shape, but we can enjoy the benefits of gravity drawing down on the shoulders, the head, the rib cage, helping us really open up the back muscles. It feels wonderful. Here's another nice one, taking advantage of gravity. Many of you are familiar, I'm sure, with child's pose, where we lie on the ground, rest on the ground on our shins and walk the hands forward or sometimes tuck them back. Here we're hanging from the hips in child's pose. just don't want to come out once you're there. And another variation we can do from that hanging Uttanasana position is this. Begin to strengthen the back and open the chest by folding forward and coming back up. The ropes can also be very helpful in back bends. So by pushing the hands down into the back seat of the chair, you can draw the shoulders into the back and open the chest. From here, for a deeper stretch in the shoulders, we can bring the hands into Sirsasana, headstand pose. For a variation of Dvipada Viparita Dandasana with the ropes. And the next thing I'd like to show you, the next and final pose that we'll do today with the swing, is hanging Sirsasana. This is a real treat. I'll come out now. One final upside down pose is Nirlamba Sarvangasana. So in addition to using gravity to support us in the poses, we can use the rope wall in a very instructional manner too. So for example, I've replaced one of the ropes with a belt so that we can adjust the length. From here I'm going to come into Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1, and use the belt to teach my back leg how to lift and be strong in this pose. So for those of you who are familiar with this pose, you know that the quadriceps on the front leg tend to get tired because they do all the work. Really, one thing that is beneficial to work on is keeping the back leg straight and strong. Having the belt here shows us what it feels like in the pose to have the back leg be as strong as it can be. Having that support on the back leg, I can sink down deeper into the pose. I can really work on tucking the tailbone, pulling the navel in and up. And move perhaps more deeply into the pose than I would be otherwise. This works a similar way in Uttanasana. And I'm going to lengthen the belt a bit. Step forward, This time the belt is helping keep my hips square and gives me something to resist against as I lengthen out the front spine. Of course, it adds some stability to the pose as well. One more standing pose that I'll show you before we move on is Trigonisana, triangle pose. In this pose, we're looking to keep both sides of the torso long to enable a strong rotation. And what often happens is when we come down into the pose, this side shortens, this side pushes up, the vertebrae on the left side are pushing together in such a way that it makes twisting very difficult. By having the belt here, I can really lean in and again have something to resist against. So as the belt pulls my hips toward the wall, I can reach out and lengthen those side ribs, keeping them long as I come down into the pose, so that both sides of the torso are long. There's space between the vertebrae to rotate the chest open. So these are just a few things that we can do with the rope wall. I hope that it's piqued your interest and you come check out one of the classes or an upcoming rope wall workshop. Thanks so much for watching.